Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Small Stages, Big Sounds. This week, I'm joined by Johnny, who's the manager of the Green Rooms in Treforest. We're going to have a chat about his upcoming weekend festival. So after the intro, we'll be back. Okay. Hi, Johnny. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what's going on?
Hi, Dave. Yeah, so I'm Johnny Foxall. I'm the owner and manager and everything else at Green Rooms, a live music venue and rehearsal studios in South Wales. I've been in the music industry now since I was 14. I'm coming close to 40. So I've been a performer. I've been a promoter for gigs and events for when did I do my first one? I did when I was 16, and I've been working with companies like such as I put on shows at places like Pontypridd Muni, Pop Factory, Fly Fuel, Studio Bar when it was there over in Merthyr. Yeah, we've put on quite a mixture of bands over the years, but now I have my own venue since 2018, which is the Green Rooms, which is in Treforest Industrial Estate, and we're celebrating our 16th anniversary with our outdoor festival, which is the second one we've done after last year's initial venture into the outdoor festival.
I note you've got an Incursion t-shirt on.
To be fair, this was right next to me just before I came onto the. I didn't purposely wear this to be like, hey, look, Incursion, yeah. But this is the old one from many, many years ago. Nobody's going to believe me when I say that, but it was genuinely just the close t-shirt that was close to me that I actually brought back from Greenham's last night. No one's going to believe that at
Are
all.
you still performing?
We just did our 10th anniversary show actually in Fuel back on May 31st. We don't have a complete lineup at the moment. However, we are still myself and Yayan, who are the only like full-time members now. Eddie Grant, as he's known to the wider audience. Yeah, we're still working a little bit on the album and everything. We are about 95% done for it. And then as soon as we've got that done, that'll be out in the world. And if people like it, we'll come back and do some more stuff. If people don't like it, we'll just say we finished years ago and just be done with it.
Well, once you finish it, if you want a review, just drop it my way, and I'm sure I can manage that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And like I said, if you do have another gig, I'll pop across, and depending on what's going on.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So this festival you got coming up now, the weekend after next, it's over the weekend of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of August.
That's right. Yeah. So the first weekend of August. Yeah, it's come around quick again.
So you said you got a mix of indoor and outdoor.
Yeah, so Friday night, which is the metal show with Continent's headlining that one. That one is purely outdoors for the duration because we start 3 o'clock on the Friday show, run through until latest call time, I believe, according to the tens that have not long come back. We can stay out there till about 11 o'clock at night, and which is what we did last year with King Kraken and Ghosted for our first fest we did last year. But yeah, all outdoors for the Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, it's a mixture of the outdoor stage with main bands on, the outdoor stage, and then we've got an indoor stage which will be having a mix of acoustic beatboxing, dance performance, and there's a stripped back performance as well from Pavilion Road as well. So yeah, it's a nice mix of everything that's going on. So if something doesn't quite take your fancy outside, in a few minutes' time there'll be something going on the inside, and vice versa. So yeah. Always something on.
So the biggest issue with multi-stage events from a punter's perspective is overlap between bands. I assume you've got that sorted.
There is no overlap whatsoever to take from our friend Jim up at BMageddon. No overlaps, no clashes. It's basically one stage and it's the next and so forth. And because it's the festival, our venue is normally 130 cap, but with the festival it goes up to 400. So it's still like a small micro festival in that kind of sense. But you basically walk through a door and you're inside, and the stage is right there with the bar and everything. Like you're not going to miss anything, like unless you like purposely like go to the other end of the industrial estate for some reason. So who knows?
So the big question then, if your venue indoors is 130 and you've got an extra 270 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How are you going to squeeze them into the venue at the same time?
Well, magic.
It's a TARDIS.
Yeah, everyone's always said it's a TARDIS and stuff. Like even our Google reviews have said like we're a TARDIS. Like they look at the outside of the venue, like, and you come inside, and you're just like, oh, it's a lot bigger than I thought. There is a lot of plans as well, like going forward after the festival as well, for us to increase the indoor capacity as well. We finally just had some luck and had some new studio doors, so I'm going to try and remodel indoors as well. Like, so going into the Halloween and Christmas periods and stuff, like the venue should start looking a little bit different to what it's been known as for the last couple of years, and hopefully it'll be a lot more improved and stuff as well. So yeah, so we'll be able to fit more for next year. That's fine.
Okay. So obviously I know you as being a big metalhead. There's no argument about that. So do you just cover the heavier range of the genres, or?
No, absolutely not. Yes, I get pigeonholed a lot with metal and the heavier kind of like punky kind of stuff and everything, but no, across the board and everything. Green Room has always been about inclusivity and having a wide range of genres and stuff, like as long as it's grassroots and originals, like with the performance kind of side at least. Like rehearsal side, everyone's welcome. I'm not going to discriminate against anybody who like wants to play Stereophonics covers or Zombie like 60,000 times in a session. The Twitch will come back. But no, when it comes to the live performance, if people want to hire the venue, they can put on whatever music and stuff they want in that kind of front. But when it comes to us doing our own events and pushing our events stuff out, we always make a goal of it making to be original and grassroots. It's a broad kind of thing. Like originals is always going to be like my preference, like because I'd much rather listen to new music than somebody rehab, unless it's like a really good kind of like remix or a cover of other bands and stuff like that have come before. Like I'd rather listen to new stuff and see what kind of goes on from there. Yeah, so no, we've had genres, everything from spoken word, poetry, all the way through to the heaviest kind of like death metal you could think of. But then we've had we've had Benji from Skindred up doing like DJ set with us. We've had Giz from the Prodigy with Yanis Stark doing their punk show. Did have XSFL, which was the original members from Stiff Little Fingers, coming to do like a show with us years ago and stuff like that. That wasn't long after I took over, actually, so that was pretty cool. And then Continents did their first show here back many years ago, and they did their like when they kind of like, I don't know if reform's the right word, but when they came back together and started like going more, the Green was one of the first places they came back to do again. Like they had a really good show, which is now why we thought as well couldn't get in for last year's festival, so we got on to this year's one as a Friday headliner. So yeah, it's a broad spectrum of what we put on and stuff. Like I'd never like, if somebody wants to come do R&B and stuff there, or we've had folk stuff, we've had, honestly, I'm open to listening to more stuff. And to be honest, the more interesting stuff that comes along, the more interested I am as well. Like, because I mean, if you turn up with guitar, drums, and bass, yeah, it's great, but I see it every day. I've had people turn up with like theremins, cellos, and violins, and I'm just there like, ooh, new things to play with. So, so yeah, like I said, I'm happy to have any kind of genre stuff that wants to come across here.
It's interesting for me because, like I said, I met you recently down in Swansea
Yes.
at the Metal to the Masses final. And the one group that really took my eye were the eventual winners, Advalion,
who are also playing on the Friday down with us as well.
I know. I had a chat with them on the podcast. Nice boys, really nice boys, and interesting ideas too. The reason I mention this is because I was talking to a band from Manchester yesterday called Lute, Lute, who are a prog metal band, and they are looking to get gigs outside of Manchester at some point. So it's trying to find venues with reasonable crowds that would make it worth their while coming down as a support to a bill.
Yeah, and this is what we try and do and stuff for a lot of the events and stuff going on. I mean, there's one or two are like, it actually doesn't matter and stuff like for it really, but we've got like bands like Ramage Inc. and everything coming down in September. One of I don't know if I can say this one yet, like, but there's one that's just been confirmed for March 7th, 2026 and stuff like, which is they've been on the main stage of Bloodstock, so that's the only thing I'm going to say about it.
That's fine.
But then yeah, there's like even bands that are just starting out. I mean, recently we had Calvaria. They're back here in September. They were really good and stuff. Like I think they were Bristol based from memory. We had Methodemic as well. Like they were either Birmingham or Manchester. They were somewhere up north and stuff for it. But yeah, we always put them on like with like, the way I kind of like to try and do it is like if I've got an out of town band coming in and stuff for it, I'll try and do it like a two to one kind of split, like so there's two locals, one out of town and stuff for it, or if there's like two out of towns, two supports, like so you get that full band kind of lineup, everything. More than that, no, I find it ironically to say with the festival coming up, like, but as soon as you start going into those smaller shows that have got like like 5+ bands, which has happened in the past, like just people lose interest, like, and it's just there, like I'd rather have like a good quality of like 3 or 4 bands and stuff like that, rather than just like just chucking everybody like on, like, because I mean, okay, it might be okay for a one-off sort of show and stuff like, but we're getting back to the point now where we've got 2 shows a week, and if we're oversaturating like one show, then the following week's going to struggle and stuff then as well. Like, so it's just trying to find a good balance between it all. Like, but I'm always happy to listen to anybody who wants to come down or up, or we've had internationals come across, like from what was the last one? They came from Argentina and stuff for one of the later shows we've kind of done. But we've had the Italians come over. We had Spanish bands, Corrosive. They were awesome. They actually played the week after Continents, and they were really good. Yeah, but I'm absolutely happy to take on this. This is what I mean by grassroots. Like, even though it's I'd like to focus more on the local areas. This is where most people are going to come from. But if you're starting out we had Nishima many years ago. We had Nishima and Titan Breed, as they were back then. I believe they changed the names and stuff now. Like, but they were just on a tour from Scotland. They needed a venue, and I was just like, use mine. There you go. It's here to be used. That's the point of it and stuff. Like, I'm not really, don't get me wrong, I'm under no impression that I'm ever going to be a multimillionaire or anything like that doing this kind of stuff, or even like a thousandaire. Like, but that's not why I've been doing this and stuff. I've been around music more than now 3/4 of my life and stuff. Like, that's the whole kind of like payoff I get for it. Don't get me wrong, we still have rents and bills and stuff to pay and stuff like everybody else, and I could go really deep on some of the problems there with some things, but on the overall kind of thing, like, yeah, I'm here for music and stuff for it. Like, why would I not be and stuff? Like, that's what I've been doing. That's what I know. That's now where I've got my life from and everything. So why would I not give back to that as much as I can and everything, and vice versa?
Okay, so given that you are one of the smaller venues, sort of grassroots music venues around, are you finding it as difficult as everyone else to keep going, or are you just ploughing on?
Double-edged sword. I mean, because we've got the rehearsal studios and stuff as well, that's kind of like the main like lifeblood and stuff for us and everything, which always been a great idea. And I've always said that, even with the previous owners, with Vic and Wayne, having the rehearsal space and then the venue and stuff on it, like, that was probably one of the better ideas you could have had and stuff for it. Because I know, speaking with a lot of other venue owners and actually rehearsal space owners now as well, like, there's a lot of people out there struggling. By no means, I'm not saying that we aren't as well. There are certain things that are happening and stuff, like, which is a worry and stuff. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to worry about it, then everything's just going to come to a stop. So I'll just deal with it if and when it happens and stuff like that. I mean, we are looking at switching over to a CIC because we're already pretty much a not-for-profit kind of company as it is. So we already fit the kind of like the mold, shall we say, like, or the description of what a charity company could be. And if that just means then more youngsters and stuff, like, I say that like in a non-patriarchal kind of way and stuff like that, but if it gets the chance to get more people into music and stuff for it, because it is one of those things you need to be nurturing, like the younger kind of artists, musicians and stuff for it, which we do have here. And I know that a lot of other places, as well as they mean, and as I'm not slating anybody, I just obviously know what laws and stuff are around, like, when it comes to like people who are classed as minors and everything for it. But with us, we've always been like a 16+ venue, and if you're under the age of 16, as long as you're with a parent or guardian, I'm happy to have you at the venue and stuff for it, because we'll always look after everyone. And if anybody's like, in the time I've been there, I've had one altercation and stuff, which was squashed pretty quickly because we're quite good community and stuff down there. But yeah, I'm even doing the youth open mic nights that we do now, like, so open mic afternoons, I should say. Sorry, not nights. They got a bedtime to go to. But with that, it's just literally, we put all of our gear up on stage. My guitars, my bass, drums, everything just goes up on that stage. The kids can come along at ages 7 to 16 and everything for it, but they come along, just have a bash, and like, there's been a few of them now that have started jamming together, and that's ultimately what you want. Like you want to start nurturing like all these youngers because I've been doing this a long time. I'm not going to be doing it forever. Like that last show I did really put a thing on how unfit and how out of stage practice I am. Like so, I let the younger people down. Irony that Aussie just finished, but hey ho.
This is the biggest issue: is everybody will turn around and pay an absolute fortune for these bands that have been together for a long time to go and see them, which shall remain nameless. We all know what we're talking about.
Yeah, of course.
But no one will turn around and pay a fiver to go and see a local band.
Yeah, it's see, I don't know how much of that you can blame on crowds themselves, and I'll probably get some stick for this and everything for it. But we've had, younger bands and everything for it who, for example, those £5 shows and stuff you say and everything. We've had bands that have like really gone out and pushed the events and stuff for it, and they've genuinely had like a sellout kind of night. Like we've had 130 people and everything for it, and they've been really good nights. And then you offer the same opportunity to a similar band of a similar age and everything for it, and they'll probably bring like 20 people and stuff for it. And it's as much as I'd love to say like, oh yeah, people come to green rooms because it's green rooms and stuff for it. People aren't coming to look at my walls. They want to come and see like bands that are making a buzz about themselves and everything. Like if there's no kind of like if a band goes, yeah, we're playing a gig and it'd be I don't want to go see that. I would be like, hey guys, we've got a gig coming up and everything's gonna be one of our first over the top kind of charismatic kind of stuff and everything. I'll be more inclined to listen to that because they're excited about the gig. They're going to get me excited about the gig. Yeah, it's how bands and artists kind of promote themselves as well. Like if you're going to put a post up once in a blue moon, like on whatever social media you're kind of using, it's going to get lost in an algorithm and nobody's going to care. But like you saw myself, like when I was out at Day of Reckoning, I was out just literally flyering and talking to people and just being like, hey, this little festival's happening here on August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd stuff. You should come along. And look, it was the same when I went down to, I did Swansea, I did Cardiff, pretty much did a lot of the valleys and stuff for it, just going down and talk with people about it. Like, because, like, as it is, if you're walking through the city street, like somebody just hands you a flyer, you don't care. If you're striking up a conversation, like I could do it at Slayer. I think I spoke to the most people I've ever spoke to in a long time, stuff like at the Slayer show and stuff, like even before going there, because I was literally out in the streets and stuff, like anybody who's slightly wearing a Slayer or Anthrax or a on a Math t-shirt, I was like, oh, you like your metal? Here you go. And just like, just talking about the venue that way then as well. So it's an old school kind of way of doing it, but I did an interview when I was running Shadow Happy Web Scene many years ago, like back in 2007. I interviewed some of the guys and stuff like, and they were basically saying that the old school ways are dead and stuff. And me being the naive kid I was back then, it's like, oh yeah, that's quite right. And now as I'm getting older again, it's like, well, no, because you don't have a conversation like with social media. You can, I'm not saying you can't and stuff, but for people to respond and stuff to it, these days it either has to be something that's a bit kind of like, I want to say niche, or kind of like something that's going to evoke a response and stuff for it. How often does that happen these days and stuff, where yeah, I could put the world of rights and stuff with this stuff, but but just going out and having a conversation.
Yeah. Okay. So you got 3 days. Your first headline is Continents.
That's right. Yeah.
The second headline is Freefall. And on the Sunday, you got a collaboration with Wilding Promotions.
Yes, that's right. So last year when we did it, it was basically because we got messed around with the Ice Thetford and everything. We were asked to do a week's worth of programming at Green Rooms outdoors. We got the clearance from ourselves, our neighbours down there, and then Tutlaw Brewery, which are at the end as well, which were already working stuff with the Ice Thetford anyway. And 6 months went by of me emailing them and trying to contact them with no response, to then about a month and a half away, I had a response of, we're moving into a rugby club now. I'm just like, thanks, cheers. Like, we haven't been like, okay, whatever. So off the back of that, me being my kind of like stubborn self, I was like, well, I'm still going to do it anyway, but I'll just do it, our way. So yeah, it was that's pretty much kind of where we kind of went from on that. So this year now, we kind of worked out a lot better. We had a lot more time to plan and everything. So where we're building the event on the Thursday, and then we tear it down on the Monday. We had another day there, and we could have just gone, yeah, we'll just book some more bands and stuff for it, or instead of just helping bands, when we like look at some promoters and stuff that are out there, and give them a chance to kind of have a go of like running an outdoor festival and stuff as well. Like, because again, it's not something that you can get the experience of very easily and stuff. Or I mean, like I said, I apart from like doing a couple of rigging kind of jobs like at Steelhouse and bits and pieces like that, I had no with doing festivals and everything for it, unless they were just really long all days and stuff. So, to be able to give another promoter a chance then to and with their team as well, like so they'd have the chance then to put on their resumes like, oh yeah, we've run an outdoor festival and everything for it. If they can learn stuff from it, absolutely, that's what we're there for. I mean, so yeah, Matt from Wilder Promotions, because I got two Matt. I got Matt from Up to 11 and Matt from Wilder Promotions. Yeah, Matt from Wilder Promotions, he's been going all out and stuff. Like, he was so excited to come on board and do that third day. I've kind of tried to tell him, like, please promote all 3 days because that'll still work in your favor and stuff as well. Like, but it's yeah, it's good. It's good to get someone else on board and stuff as well. They get the experience too. I have a little bit of kind of like, I can take my foot off the gas a little bit and stuff, like with trying to get everything promoted and everything going on, because it is still just myself at Green Rooms. But yeah, to me, again, it's really important, like, because I would have loved to have the opportunities and stuff like that when I was coming up, and I was told no a few times when I was my younger self and everything, trying to put on these events and everything for it. So yeah, just to kind of like let someone else have some of the experience and stuff as well. Like, I think it's just to help the grassroots scene as much as possible and stuff for it as well. So yeah, that's kind of where that kind of came from, and he's put together a really a really strong lineup and everything. It's been fun to kind of give him a I don't want to say mentor, because I don't want to sound too pretentious and stuff with this stuff, like, but just trying to help him out a little bit, like on, like trying to negotiate and stuff with bands and artists and the management and the booking rosters and all this kind of stuff and everything for it. So and then obviously Matt from Up to 11, who deals with like the more kind of like serious side, like of events and stuff for it. Him just giving his insight to Wild and Matt on that as well. So yeah, kind of win-win for everyone. Like, somebody gets experience, we get another day, and happily to look at doing more stuff like that in the future as well. Like, I mean, I'm always happy for new promoters to come along, and I can, if I don't know something, I know somebody else who can steer people in the right direction and stuff. That's kind of like the way I kind of look at it and stuff. Like, I've made plenty of mistakes over the years and stuff, like, so I could tell them what will happen if you try and do something a certain way, and then this is what happens, it'll blow up in your face this way. But if you talk to XYZ person and stuff over here, you can avoid those mistakes and everything for it. So that's kind of like how we've kind of done with that kind of stuff. Yeah, the lineup he's got is he got Chugaboom as the headliners, which I've always wanted to get down here anyway. Raptors, who are really good guys, they've been down with us before, and then Hawks as well. Like, we were torn between trying to get them on the Saturday or promote to the Sunday and stuff for it. So in the end, I think they had some scheduling kind of stuff, like, so they couldn't do the Saturday in the end. So we're just like, oh well, we could put you onto the Sunday, that's no problem. Yeah, we're quite flexible in that kind of sense. Yeah, that's how it kind of goes.
Okay, great. Well, I hope it's a great weekend.
Thank you, man.
I hopefully see you, and thanks for your time.
Not a problem.
And we'll call it quits there. Thanks for your time, John. Speak again soon.
Thanks, David. You take care.